Yeah, I am here. I will get it going. You sound far away, but you'll be there shortly, I'm sure. Hi, everybody. Whoever's popping in, just want to say hi. This is Vicki Link, and we're getting ready to get the show on the road, but wanted to just say hello. And if you've been here before, you know, I'll want you to go over to chat on the bottom there, on the Zoom bottom of the page, and click to everyone. Make sure it's off hosts and panelists so that we can see the chat as we go and have you engage with us when we move along. It's a lot more fun that way. So do tell where you're from. First of all, just say hello. And if it's your first time here especially, we'd like to recognize you. So go ahead and say hi and where you're from to start out. I see you guys piling in here. I'm from Northern California. Kim is Southern California here in Pacific time. So who else is here?
Wait, let me know what their biggest obstacles are.
All right.
And the money that they want.
You bet, you bet. So first we got to see some people say hello. Okay, good. Hi, Ruth, Florida. So first, I'd like to ask first, what's the number one challenge that you think, you imagine, or you think, or you believe, or you know to be true is holding you back from getting any enrollments at all, customers, people that help expand the business? What do you think the big problem is, as you imagine it to be? Tell. Margot from Kansas City and David from Toronto. Good to have you. Then somebody here from Las Vegas. Oh, Alan, hi. So we're just getting in here. So your number one challenge that you think is holding you back from getting the enrollments, which means you're not getting the income, right, that you'd like to get. So tell, might be three things, but what you imagine it to be, what's holding you back? That gap, that thing, that resource, that whatever that you think is just, you know, you can't seem to get it. Grasping for stars and you're just not getting it. Number one challenge. Somebody from Oakville, Ontario, Canada. Sue, hey, it's good to have you here, Sue. St. Louis. So number one challenge. Anybody want to go first? That's holding you back from, you know, making that business like really grow. Okay, Ruth's the first to reveal. Not meeting the right people. Okay, and Ken. Hi, Ken, from Canada. You tell. You're next, Ken. I'm calling on you. And Ruth, put your settings to everyone rather than to hosts and panelists so we can all see what you're saying here. Because once you kind of figure out what is that thing and kind of like put it to rest, lo and behold, maybe your income will grow, right? Once that's not an issue anymore. Kentucky, Angela, nice to have you here. Number one obstacle that you think is holding you back when you're sitting there, you know, maybe you're going to sleep at night and you're thinking, oh, what did I accomplish today? Did anything happen? Have I moved along? Has the business grown at all? And maybe it hasn't. Tell what you think is holding you back. Angela, you got 3 enrollments today. Great. And so tell a little bit about that. What did you do? Were they off of leads? Were they off of a demo you did? Were they, you know, were they cold calls? Were they warm market? Tell a little bit. And how many, are you brand new? Is this a new thing? Or are you used to doing this? A social media post on Facebook. Okay, good, good. Oh, she's been, and of course she's revealing 11 years. 11 years doing this, not on social media, but doing this. And is there anything holding you back from going faster or accruing more customers and reps? Is there anything else? You who just got 3 in, tell. We've got somebody from Italy. Wonderful. Great to have you here. And Ken, you're just now getting onto social media platform, Facebook, and you're trying to figure it out. Yeah. David, communicating effectively with customers. Do you have many customers, David? Or are you looking how to communicate with prospect type of customers? Carly from Australia, nice to have you here. And Angela, I'm always looking to build faster. Who here feels like they're building as fast as they want to? If you do, raise your hand. Say, I'm going fast. We have one gal that after going through some of Kim's work, learning how to do it so she didn't accost anybody, would have to turn off the mechanism, the thing that we teach to do, because too many came. right? Too many of the right ones came and you couldn't come up with it. That's a nice problem to have. New business, looking to build faster. So Angela says she loves Kim's simple questions. So the second thing I want to ask, first of all, put your obstacle here. What drew you here? If you're satisfied with your business, it's growing just great. You just love how things are moving. You don't need to respond to this question. But if you're still looking to fill that gap, what is it that's holding you back? Or I'm just treating it like a hobby. I'm really not doing it because I'm afraid, because I don't like I don't like XYZ. Tell what that is that you think is holding you back. And then the second thing is, before Kim comes, is within 12 months, if you can fill that gap, that thing that is holding you back, or that you don't know what to do about it, that challenge, the challenge we're talking about. David says proper mentoring. Okay, that's a big obstacle. If you could fix that thing and put it to rest, so you never have to deal with it again, in 12 months, where would you like to be, that you could believe you could be there if you could fix that thing? And if you're starting from zero, don't say obnoxious, crazy things because you won't believe it and it won't happen. But something realistic. If you've never made anything, in 12 months, if you learn what the pieces are you need to do, and you learn how to do it so that it feels good to you, it's legitimate, it feels like something that you could do, and it fits with you, so that when you get up, you like doing it and you're no longer convincing yourself to do it. That's a home run. So in 12 months, based on where you are now, give us some numbers on where you'd like to be in income. And 5,000 a month, 500 a month, even for some people that makes a big difference. 20,000 a month, what might that be? Believable numbers. And if you're just coming in, we're asking first for the number one challenge holding you back. Some of you maybe have been going around 365 days a year and finding yourself in the same place. So what is that? Dig deep. And David wants 10,000 a month. Is that something you can believe for? And are you anywhere close to that right now? Ruth, 60,000 in 12 months. And Ruth, put your settings to everyone so we can see it. Anybody else? Reveal. Let's get some fun numbers. Carly, 2,500 a month. And where are some of you? Are you at ground zero? 500 and under? 500 and over? Where are some of you? Carly, ground zero. Okay, 2,500 a month. That's not crazy though. You're not asking for 2 million. 25K a month. And if you want to say it per annual, you can say annually, I want to make, within 12 months, I want to be at 20,000 a year. And it's my first year. So, that would be a big improvement. Anybody else? If you're popping in, say where you're from. And we're asking two questions. The first one is, what's holding you back? What you think or imagine or believe to be holding you back? What's that number one challenge you wake up with every day and think, oh, if I could just get this right, I could actually make this business work. What is that you imagine? And then the second one is 12 months from now, annually, based on where you are now. If you're just starting, be realistic. If you've been in it 10 years and you've got some customers and reps, but you want to get on the fast track now and really, really make the business thrive, it'll be a different number. So annually in 12 months, where do you want to be realistically? If you got rid of that thing, that challenge that you find holding you back. Some of you have said, oh, I don't have a good mentor. Some have said, I don't know how to talk to people. I'm new to social media. I don't know how to post anything. So what are some of the other issues? Oh, Carly, this is a big one. This is honest. Afraid of failing. I've been in too many companies and scared to even try again. Yeah, that's honest. Thank you, Carly. How many of you have been in more than one company? And it's not any better from the last one. So that's a common one. And then if you have a warm market you burnt out, then you don't want to go back and try to resurrect that. That can happen. Margot, put your setting to everyone. You've got it on hosts and panelists. And she wants, Margot, good. She wants to learn how to do follow-up The discipline maybe to do follow-up. I know exactly what you mean about that. That is not always so simple. It's simple, but it's not something people like doing often. Old school, complete novice with social media. Okay, there's 2 of you that have mentioned that. So I'm gonna bring that to Kim. Okay, anything else that's holding you back? Trying to do things remotely online and it's a foreign beast to you? Anybody else? Other problems? Anybody else that calls leads dare to do that anymore? And our friend from Italy, I don't know how to talk with customers and follow up with partner and using social media to find good leads. Goal 20,000 a month. And is this how long have you been in the company you're in? And where are you starting from? I think we got a bunch of good answers here. We're about ready. Oh, okay, 6 months and you're at ground zero. Anybody that has been in a company longer than 5 years, raise your hand. Well, raise your hand, say yes. Yes, I've been in longer than 5 years. And good, okay, at least 3 of you, 5 years, 15 years, 7 years. Are you anywhere near where you would have imagined to be? And, nowhere near, but you haven't given up. That's good. Good. But you do have customers, some reps. And Ken has been calling leads. He's thinking about it again, 2 years in. Okay, I think we've got some good ones here. So I'll see if we've got our Kim ready to roll. And Ruth just started your company 5 months ago. Any wins? Anybody here that's got some wins? They've been doing something unique. Some of you that have been in 5 years, 7 years, 15, something that you've done, or maybe it really worked well in the past and it doesn't work now. So tell. Unless you're starting at ground zero, right? Does anybody dare to do leads anymore? Ken?
Right now, Rick.
All right. You had a phone burner, Ken? I remember those days. Just the calling for you. How'd that work? I remember that. I think I tried it once for 10 minutes. Angela, social media changes. So you've been in a while and constantly always looking to sharpen the tool, like being online without being spammy. And somebody else is saying that they changed from hotel meetings. Oh, I love those, to online back in the day. So there's a few that have been in a little bit longer and the marketing methods have changed. The way you do things, the way you reach out has changed. And that right now is a challenge for some of you. So I think Kim heard that one. That's a good one.
Oh, I heard them all. I'm listening right here, just getting the last of my slides ready. Can you hear me all right?
Right. I love the colors. Yeah.
You can hear me okay? Did you say?
I'm so good. I can hear you.
Okay, 1 second and I'll fix my camera and all that right now. Just 1 sec.
Okay. And Ruth, what are you saying here? Oh, okay. You just signed up for an online networking group to learn how to make these changes and do this online. Okay. Fair enough. Anybody else? Last minute reveals on what you're hoping to pull off in 12 months, your belief of what you can do in 12 months. If you overcome whatever that challenge is, put it to rest and enjoy what you're doing again, or maybe for the first time.
Yeah, really enjoying what you do is a very big deal. And if you don't enjoy it, you won't do it. And then it's going to be, well, get over your comfort zone, get out of your comfort zone. But that there has a limit. You know what I mean? If you don't really like getting nose in the face every day, you are not ever going to want to get out of that comfort zone. It's just not a human thing. Why would anybody do all that work?
Mm-hmm.
For essentially getting hit in the face every day, right?
Yeah.
Make sure that we have.
John, you've been in something for 5 years. You retired in 2000. You're just now getting back in. You always did leads, 50 calls a day. Wow. Bravo to you. Problem is most people won't do that. So I'm open to new ideas. Nice to have you, John. And it's true. If you don't like what you're doing, you can push it hard for a while and you'll wind up hitting the bottle or saying, oh, do I really have to get up and do this today? And finding reasons not to. They call it procrastination, I think.
But that's why, because it isn't any fun. I mean, nobody normal would do anything like that. Okay, let me see if, can you see me okay, Vic? Let me see if
Yeah,
mine.
I've got your image, yeah, in the
Well,
slide.
that's not very good. Let's see if we can do this
There
part.
you go.
Have we got it?
Mhm.
There. Okay, cool. Okay, well, here we are ready to get cooking. And I'm going to ask you something. This is a different thing. Why don't you check out this slide and tell me if you believe this. This is a great quote I found this afternoon from my old friend Bob Proctor, who isn't on the planet right now, but who's been, doesn't matter where you are nowhere compared to where you can go. Does everybody believe that? I would make one change here, and it doesn't matter where you are. It's nowhere compared to where you can go if you become the person you need to be to do those things. How many people think that? I'm going to tell you some things today that might surprise a lot of you. I'm going to show you how people that used to be Uber driver are making $100,000 every day, coaching people on how to overcome their problems, which is in a sense what you do. How many of you feel like you are coaching people with the program that you have or the product that you've got? How many of you feel like you actually can help a person have a better life, a better skin, better health, better whatever it is, including income, than they had without you? How many people believe that? Let me see how many people believe that. Whoop, this is what we want here. In the chat, ever got some yeses here?
Coming now. Several.
Yeah, I want to know who here believes that they actually can help the people that they are going to be selling products and the business to, the business opportunity. How many of you, on a scale of 1 to 10, where 1 is, well, I think I can help them a little, and 10 is, I think what I've got for them, the product, the service, or the business, any of those are fantastic. And I think I'm a 10 on how much I think I can help them. Let me see what those numbers are. What have you got there?
Oh, there's several 10s. 1, 2, 3, at least 3 10s, a couple of 9s. Oh, a bunch more. Yeah, coming in.
Let me just see if I can see the chat too. I want to be able to see who's in there. Who's got a 10 for sure? Because if you're not a 10,
yeah, Ruth,
but I wanna,
you're 10s. Not sure how to pronounce your other name here. David? Yeah, there's 3 or 4 of them.
Okay, good. Well, that's a good thing. Again, it's a question of what you think. You know, like, for example, I can come here and we know what we can do for people because we've done it for ourselves. And so we have 1,000% confidence in the path that I'm going to show you part of today. And if you follow that path, you will become the person you need to be to get all the income you want, have all the impact you want, and all the influence you want. All of it. But you can't do it the way you are right now. How many people realize that if they could be making 10,000 a month or 2,500 a month, that they would already be doing it? How many people agree with that? That if you could be doing it, you would be doing it? Yes or no? Let me hear. Do you agree with that? If I were the right person, I would be doing it. What do we got there, Vic?
Agree, agree, agree.
Right.
Wow.
So you got to make some changes. And I'm going to show you some things that you can change in what you do and say, of course. But the big change is how you see yourself and your role in the life of the people that you can help. That's really where it's at. It's a completely different thing. And so it'll be a little bit different, what you're going to see, but it will show you why we have been so successful. I think we've built, what, 6 or 7 of these over the last 30 years. And I learned the number one piece I'm going to show you today in the first company I ever did, which was 29 years ago. And when I came from the real estate business and I got into the water filter business, it was called NSA. The company is Juice Plus today. They don't sell water filters anymore, but at that time they were selling water filters. And I had a real estate business and I thought water filters are cool. I could sell them because I was a big health nut. I was a water nut, clean water nut, and they had these little filters, little blue ones, some of you may remember. and filters you put under the sink and in the shower. And I was all into clean water. So I thought, this is a piece of cake, right? So I sold a bunch of the products, and the company called and said, well, you sold so many of these products. Why don't you come and give a talk about how you sold all this stuff? And I thought, well, isn't that what we're supposed to do? We're supposed to sell stuff. So why is it such a big deal? Well, when I got on stage, after I finished and told people what I had done, which I'm going to share with you here, they said, well, my sponsor, who was the number 2 people up, who was the number 1 guy in the company, said, well, Kim, that's all really good and all that, but you got to recruit people. So really, okay, yeah, bring in people who are like you, who will bring in hundreds of customers like you did. I thought, okay, great. I maybe can do that. So the first time I did that, I ran ads in the newspaper, and we brought in about, 30 people, 2-3 dozen, about 30 people. And they all said they want to change the world. They all want to make $10,000 a month, and they all want to learn how to sell the water filters, right, to do that. And so they said, well, you're making 30, 40,000 a month, which we were, because our orders of the water filters were $5,000 and $10,000 and $25,000 per order, because you buy them wholesale, right, to market retail. And so they said, well, we want to make 30 grand, 40 grand, like you did in the first 90 days with the recruiting of the people who buy big orders, and you make percentages on larger orders. If you're in real estate, or if you understand real estate, if you sell a house and you make 10%, pretend, on a $200,000 house, you'll make 20 grand. If you make 10% on $1 million house, you make 100 grand. You make one sale in each case, but in one case you make 20,000 because it's 10% of 200,000. In the other case, you make 10% of $1 million, which is 100,000. Are you with me? Let me see if you're with me. Tell me, yes, you got it together here. Are you connected here? Yeah, you got it. So one sale can make you 100 grand or 20 grand or $200 or $2. It depends on what it is you're selling, right? So these guys wanted to make this big money and sell all these big packages that people then would market separately, And so they said, okay, we were going to come to a training and you show us how to do this. Well, I planned for this training. I set it all up at the Presidio in San Francisco before George Lucas bought it. And sure enough, I was there with, some of the people that were going to help me set up the slides. And I think of the 30 people or so, 6 or 7 showed up, maybe 8. And, my background is teaching. I've done that for a long time. And I thought, what kind of a class is this? These, where are these stupid people? They all wanted, and I waited for, the proper 5 or 10 minutes for a professor, right? And that was it, 7 people. And they were fine. And, I did the training and blah, blah, blah. And then I called my sponsor and said, 7 people showed up and the rest of them seemed to have disappeared. There were no refunds or anything. They just all disappeared. And she said, oh, Kim, that's normal. So what do you mean that's normal? She said, well, that's how this business is. Most people quit. And I said, well, I'm going to quit too. I don't want to be in a business like this. If the business is one where everybody quits, I mean, I don't like that. I don't want to work with quitters. I want people who say they're coming, they're going to do the thing and then make it work like I do, right? I want people like me. And she said, well, that's kind of how it is. They do mostly quit. So I said, okay, I'm going to just stick to my real estate because my people don't quit. I recruited 10 or 12 of these guys using newspaper ads, and nobody had ever quit. And we ran a pretty good little business doing commercial real estate, right? And she said, well, before you quit, why don't you run ads the way you did for your real estate agents? And I thought, well, how would I do that? Because we're looking for people who want to sell stuff and make money versus, deal with commercial real estate and leasing and whatnot. So I thought, okay, so how would I write an ad instead of the ads that I had written? See, the ads I wrote that got me the first 30 people in were all ads about make 10,000 a month, looking for extra income, no experience necessary, will train in the health business. And that's the ad we got from the number 1 upline who was running these ads. And at that time, that was fine to run those ads 30 years ago, remember? So I thought, okay, so that's clearly not a good ad to run because all it did is get people who quit at they had to show up for a training that they requested of me, who was making 5 times what they were making no matter what they were doing. So it's like, if they're not even going to come for that, So she said, write that kind of an ad. And I did write that kind of an ad. And we asked for the people that we wanted. And I'm going to teach you today how to do that. And that is called the reverse selling system. That's the mechanism. That's the name we've given the mechanism that we use to draw in the right enrollments, to have people coming to you. Because I wrote that ad 30 years ago, and we asked for people who loved sales and marketing, who'd owned their own business before, who loved to speak in public. And I remember my upline as clear as day. She said, Kim, nobody's going to come to that. That's why. She said, well, because you're asking for public speakers. So I know, but if somebody does come, at least I won't have to train that person. They're not going to have the runs to public speak. Because, if you want to be big in this industry, it really helps if you learn how to run an event. We're running an experimental team right now, and I'm going to teach all our people to run an online event, an opportunity meeting of the kind that no one has ever seen, ever. Why not? Why should you be calling one person at a time? Oh, you want this? Oh, aren't you going to do me a favor? You got to be kidding. You go broke and you'll think you're stupid. It's like Einstein said, if the goldfish is judged by whether or not it can climb a tree, it's going to spend its whole life thinking it's stupid. So if you're going to judge yourself based on how many times you can hit somebody up on DM or Facebook messaging, or how many times you can call them and push your thing on them, you're going to think you're stupid, because that is not how it was intended to be. That's not how it was intended to be. You're intended. Well, you tell me, would you rather be seen as a seller or as an advisor for that thing that you say you can do to help your people? Most of you said you think you can help people. Am I right? Yes or no? You said you can help people. Do you want them to see you as an advisor or as just a seller pushing stuff? Let me see what you've got. Have we got some advisors in here? You want to
advisor.
Yeah, and I think, the trouble is the way the people in the industry teach you. They taught me too, but it was like, after the first time, I never listened again, because I saw the results the first time, and I didn't want to keep doing what you keep doing that doesn't work and get you all the wrong people, right? So you change and you think of something else. And I just changed to my real estate mindset. The same thing we did with people today. If I were to be in real estate, I would pick an area of specialization, and I'd get really good at it and have all the business in my town in that area. Right. So I like being an advisor. So how many people here want to learn how to become an advisor? I'm going to show you right now.
Oh, lots.
Yeah, because otherwise you're just another one of these people that's got a $50, $100 deal. How are you going to make $10,000 a month if you make $5 per sale by customer? How many customers are you going to need if that's all you make is $5 on a customer sale? Say the product is $50 a month and you make $5. It's like, what, 1,000 of them? There are much better ways I'm going to show you right now. So I'm going to show you this mechanism that supercharges enrollment. And it's the one I described to you from the water days. And Vicki and I have done 5 companies, Vic, where we did exactly the same thing and got to the top of everything that we've done faster usually than anybody else. And here's how that works. So I'm going to show you this weird new mechanism that we call reverse selling. That is the process that makes what we do completely different. I want to show you what that is. Reverse selling. That sound like fun? You know what that means, right? It supercharges your customer and rep enrollment from nothing to lots and lots and lots. What do you think reverse selling is? Who's up for that? Who wants to learn how to do that right now? Let me see. Yes. Let me see. Yes, yes, yes. Are we awake? Yeah, right.
Yeah.
So the old way is sell and tell everybody about your thing. How many of you are doing that right now? Every DM you do, every Facebook message, every call. Oh, I got to tell you about this thing. You're going to totally love it. It is so cool. And my friend, I think Eric still teaches, do me a favor. I have a new business. Won't you try my thing, buy my thing, right? So you sell and tell everybody about your thing. Is this what people are doing? Let me just confirm. Yes? No. Is this what you're doing? Sell and tell everybody and everything about your thing. Treat everyone as if they are your prospect. Is that kind of it? Have you enjoyed doing that? Yes or no? You like doing that? You like selling and telling everybody about your thing? Let's see what we got. Are you guys awake? Am I the only one here?
David, you're the first now. Who else?
Right? But that's what they tell you to do, right? Do this. So the reverse selling draws people to you. It draws people to you as if you were an advisor. Right? And most people won't. Yeah. Yeah. And then they tell you get out of your comfort zone. It's like, you got to be crazy. Not that comfort zone I don't want to get out of. So what you want to do here with the reverse selling that draws people to you, I'm going to show you this here. That what it does is it gets you people who are already interested in hearing about what you have before you tell them what it is, before they know what it is. How many people want to know how to do that? How to draw people to you who are already interested in hearing about what you've got. Let me see if somebody's interested in hearing that, because I'll show you how to do it.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Mhm.
Remember, already interested before they ever knew your name. Have we got that? Before they ever knew anything about you. So here's an example. We have countless examples, and I just picked one or two. And if you have one of your own where you go, oh, Kim, tell me this, or Vic, tell me this or that, put it in the chat after I do one so you can see what it is. Because we can take any example, and there's nothing that you're marketing. I have never met anybody in 30 years, no matter what they market, where we cannot show you how to position yourself as an advisor, where when you put out words, your communication, the people who are already interested and were interested before they ever saw your words or knew your name, come to you to talk about what you've got. They're interested in it already. They may not buy, but they're interested versus no clue. Are you with me? Let's see if we got that. Okay. No, Lean, you want to reset your thing to host to everyone from host and panelists? I'm just monitoring the chat there. All right, here's an example. Let's pretend that you offer a skincare product for $87 a month. Anybody here in skincare? Skincare. Let me see. Yep. No. Skincare, hair care. Teeth care. I guess you could do that one too. Okay, let's just pretend $87 a month. So you go, Aunt Lulu, you're going to be calling people, right? Some skincare. Just pretend this is what you have right now. Ruth, it'd be good. Yeah. You're going to call somebody. Hey, Aunt Lulu, you're going to love this. I'm new. And would you do me a favor and, try my skincare product? Does that sound familiar? Basically, tell me yes or no. You're going to love this. I have this great new skincare. I have this great new hair care. I have this great new energy. I have this great new nutrition product. I have this great new oil. I have this great new thing to help your sex, whatever. Yeah. Does this sound familiar? Tell me yes. You're going to love it. I'm new, blah, blah, blah. So she says, okay, honey. All right, then what? And you go, wahoo. She's going to try it. Ooh, good. Right? That's step one. Then 7 days later, what's going to happen? You're going to call. Did you love it? She goes, yeah, I did. I loved it. You go, oh, good. Now we're going to talk in something now. You want to buy now? Right, Aunt Lulu? You want to buy, right? And she goes, oh, no, honey. And you go, why? Why not? What's wrong with you? I mean, didn't you just love it? And she goes, oh, it's too expensive. How many people have heard it's too expensive as one of their standard responses that they get from people? Anybody? Who's heard it's too expensive? See if you guys are awake.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Right? That means you got the wrong person, right? It's too expensive. Okay? But you said you liked it. Aunt Lulu, you said you liked it. Right? Or have no time. That's another one. Mm-hmm. Yep. I did like it, but it's just too expensive. I'm so sorry, honey. I'm really sorry. That's what she says. And so you sit and go, wow. So it was, oh, she's going to try it. Did you like it? Yeah. And you've been waiting all week, right, for this call? Yeah, I did. But you're going to buy it? No. Why? It's too expensive. Right? And there you are. And you think, it must be me. Yeah, I need to ask my spouse, right? Really? Okay. What you don't know, because we don't do it. Most people stop at the why. And one of the things we're going to teach you if you get into our program, if you're really lucky enough to get in there, literally, we teach you how to find out a little bit more after they say no, not to sell them. Okay, I'll tell you right now. So she's not going to do it. So you might say, okay, Aunt Lulu, I got it. You're not going to buy it. And it's good. Can I ask you a question? Yeah. So what do you do for your skincare now? Oh, she says, I use Bonds, $6, and I only have to buy it every 3 months. What's that tell you? What does that tell you right here? Let me see. What have you just learned about marketing? Let's see if anybody can figure this out. Who has figured this out?
Lulu is cheap.
Okay. Okay.
Not your market.
Okay, John, you got it. Anybody else?
Wrong prospect.
Okay, Ruth, you got it. Okay. Anybody else? Okay, so you have everything from Lulu is cheap. Does anybody think, oh, it must be me, I can't sell? How many people might have thought that? It must be me, I can't sell. Just tell me if it's you. Because this is why most people quit. That it's too expensive is one of the number one, quote unquote, objections people get. And people go, it must be me. So I can't sell. I can't do this. I'm not cut out for this. I'm going to quit. Does anybody feel like that? All right. Because you see, you made a decision at the wrong time. And you made the wrong decision if you quit over this. But given what they teach in the industry, of course you think you're stupid because they tell you everyone's going to want this. Everyone will want it. And if they don't want it, they should want it. And they come at it like it's a religion. Something's wrong with these people. They need to have this, right? So of course, a person, if you don't have sales experience, if you've never owned your own business, you're going to think, oh God, if everybody doesn't say yes, I must be an idiot, right? I mean, you go window shopping in New York City or Rodeo Drive or any place. Do you go into every store? No. Does that mean that you hate every store or that you're cheap? No. You might be in a hurry, right? You might not like that stuff. So we have choice. And our job as marketers is to figure out who does want my product for $87 or $97 or $10,000 a month. Who does want it? Because people are buying it. You just don't know who it is. You see the difference, right? So people have choice. So this is what she does. So if you know this now, she uses Pounds for $6 and every 3 months that's all she has to buy it. In terms of values to her, where do you think what her skin looks like is on the list of, say, the top 10? Would you say it's her number one value? Number one most important thing to her? Is her skin number one most important? Yes or no? How about for your hair care? You know, you have $100 hair care, $200 hair care. It doesn't matter what the price is, $5,000 hair care. There's skincare for $2,500, La Mer. In fact, that's the cheap jar. Go to the Golden Door. Go to Elizabeth Arden. You drop $5,000 and you have a small bag of, serums. I did. I about fell over, but I paid the bill because I didn't want to look like a cheapskate, like somebody said here, right? I was just so, it was 25 years ago. It was like a long time. But that was a tiny bag, right? It wasn't Tiffany's either. We're talking about skincare stuff, Elizabeth Arden, I'll never forget. It's $5,000. It's like, okay, then here's the card. So she doesn't value skincare that much, and you have $100 a month product. So what you want to think about is her skin that important to her? Did you really want to give somebody a $100 product for whom, yeah, the benefits might be nice, but it's not on her radar as like a really big deal for her, right? Are you with me? Let me see if you got this. Tell me yes. You got this? All right. So, I mean, how many of you would buy a $335,000 or $330,000 Ferrari if you are happy with your $35,000 Prius or Camry? Because I have neither a Camry nor a Prius, for that matter, nor a Ferrari. But if you are happy with your $30,000, $40,000 car, would you buy a $330,000 Ferrari? Some of you probably think, Oh, that's a complete waste of money. They should be giving it to the poor Chinese. That's what we used to hear. How could you spend $330,000 when there are poor people, blah, 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 right? I mean, there's some people who have that attitude. Does Ferrari as a company, do they make money? Yes or no? What do you think? Do they make money? Yes or no? Tell me yes or no in the chat. Who's got it? Do they make money?
Oh, yeah. Yes, yes,
Okay,
yes.
but you didn't buy one. So how can they be making money? You didn't buy it. You think it's, obnoxious. And they're bad people too. They shouldn't be spending their money like that. They should be giving it away to poor people. Do they make money with or without you? Yes or no? Whether you like it or not, there are enough people who buy Ferraris that company does really, really well. They're called the high-end luxury end for anything: cars, homes, glasses, hats, computers. So you have different people that have different values, and our marketplace in the world, no matter where you are, tries to cater to the different levels of taste and different levels of obsession. Do you see that? So some people spend $2,500, $3,000 on a jar of face cream, and some people think Pond's for $6 every 3 months is enough. Right? You see that? So they will survive with or without us. It's all about values. And if you want to have a successful business, do you want to have a lot of people to talk to who would be interested in a $330,000 Ferrari if you were selling Ferraris? Or would you want to talk to people who feel like people that buy Ferraris for 300 grand are wasteful and lowlifes who should be giving their money to poor people? Who would you rather be talking to if you market Ferraris? Do you really care about people who prefer a Camry? Yes or no? Yes or no? Yes or no? Yes or no? Do you care about them? Are you going to beat yourself up? Because Camry also has part of the market share. Prius also has part of the market share. Chevys, used Hondas, there are like zillions of options to your option. You get that? And what you want is to find the ones that are your sheep. I'm going to show you here in just a minute. So it's like shopping for shoes. Everybody wants shoes mostly, right? But there's a big selection. So if you look at the image here, look at this girl. We're like shoes to everybody. Your skincare, your hair care, your business opportunity, the hats that you sell, whatever you market, whether it's Forex trading, crypto trading, you're like the lady on the left. She has all these ones to choose from. And she's going to pick one. Does she hate all the others? No, but she's going to pick the one that she wants. Even on the right, the little kid, there are many different kinds of shoes, even that he has all those and he's going to only pick one pair that day. Do y'all see this? There are many choices. And you banging on one person, oh, you're going to love the skincare, but you're going to love these shoes. They've already been here with, see this lady? They've been there, done that. Okay. So you never want to lead with what you got because you don't know these people already have seen 1,000 versions of all these things online. Have you got this? Are we together with this? Say yes, you get this. We're not all there is. That's really quite a statement for many people. We think from the upline and the company, you think we're all there is. Years ago, I had the top 50 and the top 100 network marketing companies. And when I first put that list out, it got really popular. And I had hundreds of emails from people saying, I had no idea there even were other network marketing companies. My company said we were the only one and the best one for skincare. And the top 4 in the top 20 companies of the top 100 that I listed by the Alexa score, 5 or 6 were skincare companies. Because, there's Arbonne and New Skin and Nerium and or whatever it's called now, all these different ones. And they didn't know there were any other companies. So it was a complete opening of the sky to see, oh my gosh, there's so many other people, right? So just be aware that when you go to somebody, they've probably seen 50 things, not from network marketers, but just on Google and on Zoom and on just being alive, right? They have a lot of choice already. So people have choice. You're never all there is. And so you have to assume that you're being compared to other things that they could buy to solve that problem if they even have the problem. So there's a lot of choice. Have you got this? It's like buying shoes. I mean, does this make sense to people? Let me give you a really good ad. This is an example of reverse selling. Gundry does this. There's an MD named Gundry. I'm sure, Vicki, you know who he is. Some of you probably know him too. He says, if you eat oatmeal every day, you better eat this. Do you know what he's selling? Does anybody know from this what he's selling? Who knows what he's selling? Does anybody know what he's selling? I bet you don't. If you eat oatmeal every day, you better read this. What is he doing? Who is going to read this? Are you going to read this if you eat oatmeal? Here. Or if you don't eat oatmeal? If you eat oatmeal every day or even once or twice a week, are you going to read what he said? Yes or no? Let me see.
Yes.
If you read, if you got it?
Yep.
If you don't eat oatmeal every day, are you going to read it? Maybe if you know somebody who eats oatmeal a lot, right? He has another one like this. If you eat avocado every day, you better read this. What is this pointing out?
Mhm.
What is he selling here? Who knows? Who can tell me? What's he selling? What's he selling? If you eat oatmeal every day, you're going to read it, right? But you don't know what product he has or what newsletter he might have, do you? What's he done? He's made you aware of a possible problem. This is a problem. This specific thing, if you eat oatmeal every day, you better read this. And then he has Gundry, MD. And you could have your name, you know, like say you could have Margot, advisor, right? If you da-da every day, you better read this. You better come here. You should come here. Who comes? Everybody who is worried about, oh my God, I eat oatmeal every day. What should I do? So this is problem-based. He's calling out a problem. And the only people who will come are those who eat oatmeal regularly. Do you see this? He's selling the problem. He's creating a worry in the mind of anyone who eats oatmeal every day. He hasn't sold any help yet. He's selling a worry. If you have this, you do this every day, you better read this. If you notice a twitch on your left side every day, you better read this. Who's going to come? This is, I mean, the way I describe this really, this is worrywart marketing. It's absolutely what you want to learn how to do. Why? Because the people who come have the problem that whatever eating oatmeal every day, he says is going to happen. Do you see how this is? It's only for people who eat oatmeal every day. And he says, you better read this. Nobody else. Everybody who comes is interested. I eat oatmeal every day. What should I do? I eat oatmeal. What should I do? Are they interested in buying whatever he has? Hell yeah. Will they all know? But they are all coming because they're interested because he did worrywart marketing. That's one of the marvelous, that's reverse selling. You're selling the worry. Could this, are you kids hanging out with so-and-so? How are you going to get your kid into Harvard? Is your kid going to make it to kindergarten for the rich kids or for the poor kids? Whoever cares about it comes. Do you see this? Tell me, yes, you see this. How many of you would like to learn how to do this for what you market? Let me see who would say, yes, I want to learn how to do this. Okay.
Yep. Several.
Good. That's what you want to do. So here's another one. 3 things to know about network marketing before you sign up. Who responded to that? We put that out there. 3 things to know about network marketing before you sign up. Who came to that event that we did? Who read that post? Who clicked on it? Somebody who doesn't care about network marketing, are they going to click? Yes or no? Somebody going to click who isn't ever going to do network marketing? What do you think?
No,
Yes, no,
no.
right? They're not going to bother. Who cares? But if they're thinking about doing network marketing, or if they are doing network marketing, would you want to know 3 things to know about network marketing before you sign up? Would you want to know what those things are? 90% of the people who come stay to the end because they want to know what that is. The people who don't care don't come. So you don't hear it's too expensive. The only people who come are those who have this concern. What should I know about it? It's a kind of a worrywart marketing. It's talking about the problem. You see how we do this? There are many ways to do it. This is just one of them. And this is why we call it reverse selling. You don't know what the person has for sale when you call, oh, I got this great hair care. Oh, I got this great skincare. Oh, I got these great glasses. I have this great thing for teeth or for sex or for this or for that. That's how everybody leaves. You have no idea if they even give one bean about that thing. You have no idea. You're just blasting everybody. And of course, you're going to get all no's. You're interrupting dinner like the old telemarketers, probably worse than telemarketers, because these are people that know your name if you're calling people that know your name. That's reverse selling. If you eat oatmeal, you're going to read it. Watch this. You got it right. Oh, I got to look. And right away, you want to look. And it doesn't always have to be worrywart. There are other things as well. Like, here's a mechanism that's quite weird that we've used to build 7 companies to the top. This is something good, and it's reverse selling. This is the process you're going to learn how to do. So you assume the position of a high-level advisor for people who. That means you need to know who is the audience that you really will serve with what you have. And some of you will have products. You'll say, well, my company has 50 products or 100, or if you're in the Amway business, you have just about everything on God's earth that's available. And the best way to do this type of marketing, at least that we found, is pick the product or the service or the family of products, like it might be a skincare, it might be hair care, it might be, whatever it is, nutrition, energy, sleeping, right? And you pick it and you, based on your own before and after, and that is where you start to market. So pick the 1 or 2 things, best if it's one focus, and offer that first. And in case you're wondering, how that would work, if you think about, some of you are old enough to remember when Apple Computer is a computer company, and it also has iPhones and iPods. Well, they started 30 years ago, 35 years ago, and they had computers up until 2004 or 5. And then they came out with the iPod. I believe that came out in 2006 or 7. I have to look it up. But and the iPod was a music player about this size, like the phone, but it was an iPod. Some of you remember it was a little white thing. And what Steve Jobs said on the ad for it, and at the event that they had, the Apple computer event where they introduced this iPod, at that time, there were people that had huge boom boxes, 8 and 16 track stereos that they would play on the beach. Remember the kids with the big boom boxes? And Steve Jobs comes around with this little tiny thing and says, 1,000 songs in your pocket. Well, people went ape. What do you mean 1,000 songs in your pocket? Well, how could you get 1,000 songs in your pocket? And that little iPad, I think it was 1,000 songs, maybe 10,000 songs, but we'll say 1,000, make it low. That's all, just fit in your pocket. That's what he said. Steve Jobs said, this is 1,000 songs in your pocket. And everybody that was sitting in that room and that saw it on TV and wherever it was in 2006 knew about these big boom boxes that you need to carry. You need 2 or 3 people to carry all this stuff to the beach. And suddenly they're all in your pocket. How could that be? Well, the iPod totally took off, as many of you know that were around then, the little dial, remember? And the iPod became so well loved that people who had it would say, just other people, well, where did you get that? And they said, well, from this place called Apple Computer. So people would go call up the computer place and say, okay, so I want to have this iPod. And then they would say, this is such a cool gizmo. What else do you have? And the year that iPod came out, and they had 4 computers at the time. They had a desktop, they had a laptop, and I forget 2 others, just basically a laptop and a desktop computer. That's what they sold at that time. And people who bought the iPod by the millions after the first year said, well, what else do you have? And Apple said, well, we have computers. And people said, really? Are they as good as the iPod? And Steve would tell them, they're better than the iPod. And the year the iPod came out, the sales of the Macintosh computer, which were the computers at that time, went up like 15 or 20 times because of the iPod. So I'm here to tell you, if you represent a product line that has a lot of stuff, of course, the company wants you to sell everything, but your clients want to see you as an advisor. How can you be an advisor for 1,500 products? You want to be an advisor for a problem. So that's going to be hair, skin, energy, whatever, crypto, bot buying, whatever it is that you're interested in. And then if they have a good experience with that one product, think iPod. I love this iPod. What else do you have? And that's what'll happen to you. It's what happens to us all the time. Yeah, we have one now where they have these little signaling systems where it helps really restore your health. If you've wrecked your body and you're big as a house and you drink too much and you sleep bad hours and you eat crap food and you're kind of a mess, you can put these things on different places and suddenly things change. And a person will say, well, what else do you have? Well, where else does it hurt? Tell me what other problems you have. And I'll tell you if we've got something. So even when somebody says to us, what else do you have? The first question is not, let me tell you all the things. No. The first question is, what problems do you have? And I'll tell you if we got anything. Do y'all see that? Everything is based on solutions, based on the problems that they have at that time, because that's what makes a person want to buy. They're dissatisfied. They don't buy our product. They buy a fix to their situation. See if y'all have that. Do you see how that works? Tell me yes. We're just about done here. If you get this concept, it will change completely your marketing life. This is the ticket to making yourself 100,000 a year, 200,000 or 300,000 a year, to getting yourself to $1 million a year or more, because you end up being a highly paid advisor. And there's a lot more you can do than just offer your products. Do you see how this works though? Where you don't get the no's? Tell me yes, Vic.
Oh, yes.
Yes, in there.
Lots of.
So say you were the skincare person, what would you, if you know you don't want to sell to somebody who has Pond's because they only have to buy it once every 3 months. Let's say you know that that's not your market. Your market are the people that have the problem that you are obsessed about solving. Like we help marketers, a lot of network marketers. Why? Because you guys don't know how to market. Is it your fault? Well, no, they taught you wrong. And there's nobody teaching people how to solve problems. It's just this push stuff. This is never going to work. It's never worked in 2,000 years. It isn't going to work now. Everybody's pushing stuff. You want to solve problems. Hold the problem out there. When you go shopping for shoes, do you buy all the shoes in the store? Do you try everything on first? No, you say, I want women. Boom, that's half the stores. The shoes gone. I want Nike. That's another quarter gone. I want running shoes. I want women. I want white. I want narrow. By the time you've said everything, you have disqualified all the shoes in the stores, just like all the people. You only want this one thing because that is the problem you're solving. You want a woman's running Nike size 8 white narrow shoe. That's what we do as a people. You're going shopping for people. So you lead with what you know you can solve. So when people are scanning for that, which they do all day on Google and on Facebook, they're scanning. If you look at your own behavior when we get done, if you're scanning on Facebook, you're looking for entertainment or solving a problem you have. We're always looking to solve our own problems, what we do. So when somebody comes up and says, hey, I got a way for you to get your kid home from school safely and you never have to be part of the carpool again, who's going to read that? Anybody who's sick of being in the carpool to pick up kids, but they don't want to leave their kid to some stranger. Do you see what I mean? Tell me, yes, you have this. All right. So here, how to assume the advisor position with what you say or post. So let's go back to the skin person. Let's say you say, if I sold skincare, that was $100, which is not very much, but $100 a month. I would be looking for people who are obsessed with their skin, who are worried about, well, who are obsessed with their skin. Right there. Let's take this one. You see that? If somebody is obsessed with their skin, what are the chances that they're going to say it's too expensive? Let me see. Who's got that? Who's got the answer here? Is anybody going to say it's too expensive? They're obsessed with their skin. Obsessed with their skin. They go to spas. They go to the Golden Door. Are they going to say it's too expensive? Yes or no? Of course not.
Nope.
How about this? Let's say you're a parent coach for children that are going off with the wrong kids. So you might say, we help parents who are worried about who their kids hanging out with. Because birds of a feather, what do? What do we know about birds of a feather? And if your kids are hanging out with the wrong kids and you're a parent and somebody says, if you're worried about who your kid's hanging out with, read this. What is it? It's a problem that only some people have. But those who have it are scanning for it constantly because no parent wants to have their kid hanging out with the wrong kids. How about this? People who don't want to lose their friends. People who want to do network marketing and don't want to lose their friends, read this. Do you see, I could make a post like that. You want to do network marketing and not lose your friends? Read this. Who's going to read it? See, if those of you who are in our programs, you could run an ad like that because you know how to do it. And you would be able to attract people to your program, to your personal business, just because you can say, I have a way to do it where we don't lose our friends. Because you've learned reverse selling, which is what we teach in our program. How many of you would like to be able to do that? Tell your people, we do network marketing and we do it in a way where we don't lose friends. So if you don't want to lose your friends, check us out. Who do you think might come? Do you think some of your people might actually come to you because you could offer that? Most people don't do network marketing because they do not want to lose their friends. So if you can say, we have a way to do it for people, especially who do not want to lose their friends. How many people? You're going to be a line at the door. Do you hear me? You got this? Just you have to become a little bit different person. Hey, Filberto, how you doing, buddy? Okay, so whatever problem you're solving, okay, I just want to be sure that you get this because we're just about at the end here. Reverse selling is making clear the problems that we solve. And there's there's a linguistic sort of, I wouldn't call it a trick, but there's, if you say, for example, that you help somebody with you have to do several little flips, and that's why it's a little bit difficult. People say, I don't know how to say the words because I help with health. Well, that's not a problem. Nobody goes looking for health when they go scanning. So you have to be really, really specific. That's why your own before and after makes a big difference. But you're making clear the problem that you solve. And then you can put that into, and if you want this, or if you have this problem, read this or click here, or do this, have them do something to indicate that they're the one who is in your audience and is already interested in getting that problem solved. How many people understand what I just said? How many people get that? So you state your problem. So you can't just say, I help with health. I might say, what do you do for people? And one of you might say, oh, I help with health. Well, if you wrote, I help with health, who do you think is going to stop when they're scrolling? Is anybody going to stop and say, you help with health? So what? So does everybody else. So you get a really specific problem. Like if you've suddenly got a rash on your ankles when you're 45 and you're standing there trying to have social conversation, and your ankles are itching to the point where you can hardly talk, read this. Who's going to read it? Everybody? No. People who have rashes that just appear, and in the middle of a social conversation, they have to bend over and scratch it or they're going to die. And if they do, it starts bleeding. And if they don't, they can hardly talk because they're itching so badly. Do you see that? Tell me yes. You wouldn't believe the problems people have. I mean, I'm just learning so much about what you got, the itchies and you can't talk and you go, oh my God, no, right? Sick and tired of being sick and tired. That's too general. See, everybody knows about that. What are you sick and tired of? If you're sick and tired of hearing no, every time you want to talk about your product, read this. You got that, John? Something specific. If you're sick and tired of what? Of what? See, don't be general. You have to be really specific so a person stops. So John, think of a more specific one. So this is making clear the problem that we solve, okay? You got it? All right. So the right ones say me. Me, that's what you want them to say. So the skincare, so who does she want to serve? People that are obsessed with their skin, people who go to spas regularly. That's who she wants to serve. Have facials regularly. This is why you want to be who loves spending time and money on their skin and how they look. When I went to the Golden Door years ago, we went for quite a few years in a row. everybody there from at that time, Christy Brinkley and all these people who were these hoo-has, all they did is think about their skin. And it's not just people that have some money. There are people who have very little money, but what little they have, they spend on a video game or on a really fancy car or on their skin or on their clothes or kids. Nike made their money initially in the black market. This is years ago. It's a very interesting study of kids who lived in Harlem wanting to buy the Jordan Air sneakers for $200. And people killed each other over those shoes. The minute a kid bought it, somebody else would kill the kid for the shoes. They had no money, but they wanted to identify with the Air Jordan shoes because they identified with Michael Jordan. So it's never about, oh, they have a lot of money. Don't make those judgments. You have no clue. They may have nothing, and all the money went to buy those shoes so they could feel like identifying with Michael Jordan and who that was. Very, very interesting. So, it's people who spend time and money on that stuff. That's who you want. So you ask for them. So you might call their name. If you're obsessed with your skin like me, but you're not ready for plastic surgery, click here to see the crazy thing that I finally did. Who's going to come? People obsessed with their skin, but they're not quite ready for plastic surgery. Click here to see the nutty thing I finally did. You have called their name. Do you see that? Okay, you got it. Who will come? Those super interested in their skin for any reason, whether it's a problem that they're having, whatever, you see? So is she going to hear it's too expensive? Yes or no? Yes or no? Is she going to hear too expensive if she does this?
No.
Probably not. Right? Of course not. Right? Exactly right. You guys have it exactly. Okay. Every no tells you who your market is. Because if you take the next step and say, okay, we're not going to sell it. Don't worry, I'm not going to make you buy it. Tell me what you do now for your skin or your hair or whatever it is. And you may discover that they don't do anything for it. It's not even on their radar. So if you want to make fast money, you get the people who are ready to buy now. And that means you call their name. Do you see what I mean? Call their name. Because once you know who you can help based on your own before and after with your program or your product, that's all right. Okay. Once you know who your audience is, guess what? How many people know this right here? Who's ever heard this? My sheep hear my voice. How many people have heard this line? Tell me yes or no. Who's heard this before? Okay. And the question you have to ask yourself is, that's what Jesus said. He knew only his sheep are going to hear his voice. He knew most people would not. He only got 12 guys, after all that schlepping around for what most of his 3 years. Just 12. One was a frontline pukey too, as you all know. But my sheep hear my voice. And the question I have for you is, do you believe that you have sheep? You have people that are waiting out there for you and your help. And they are your people. Just like I have my people. Eric has his people. All the trainers have their own people. Every church, what's his name? Osteen from Lakewood. He has his sheep. Mr. Graham, Billy Graham's son, has another church. They have their sheep. Everyone has their people. Apple has their people. Elon Musk has his people. You have your people. You just haven't called them, so they can't hear your voice. Do you understand this? That's what you got to learn to do. Do you believe it's true that you have sheep, literally, so to speak, people you can help who are waiting for you, your personality, your experiences, who you are? That's the story. Do you believe that? Yes or no? How many people believe that? That that's true for you too. There are people who are just waiting for you, for your story, with your experience. Because every person's different. Some of you believe that. If you believe that, you'll become a marvelous marketer because you're just looking to call your sheep. It's kind of like the mom who goes to the playground, and if they still have merry-go-rounds, and there's like 50 or 100 kids, and you're standing by the fence because you're not going, where the playground is, and you say your kid's name is Henry, you're going to go, hey, Henry. And there are like 100 little kids. Who's the only kid that's going to come and turn around? Henry or every other kid? Your kid, your sheep. you're calling that one. And once you put that out, if you eat oatmeal every day, read this, oh my God, the guy gets millions of people. Why? Because there are billions out there reading it. How many customers do you need? You get a couple hundred of them, you're probably making a couple grand a month, free for nothing. You 7 billion people in this world. What are you waiting for? Right? So that's what I want to, the question is, do you want to build a business and find the people who are already your sheep, who already have the problem and want a solution? That's what we've got. Does that sound good? Or you can keep on being like the doomed fly. This is Vicky's favorite for sure. You know, you can, there's a marvelous book that some of you know about because I've showed it to you before. It's such a good story. You know, the story about the U2. Here's a little book here. See that? U2 by Ken Price Pritchett. There it is. You can see it. It's just a little PDF with a cover on it. And he describes how the fly is on the window. And some of you have seen, you've been in a cabin or you've been in a house where you see the fly on the window. And the fly can see the outside through the window. And he's buzzing and buzzing and buzzing and buzzing and buzzing and buzzing for an hour. And where does he end up? And on the right side is a door, open. The front door, right, is right open. That's what the story is that he tells. And does the fly stop and open and go through the door? No. It stays right there, DMing people, calling people cold, with no idea about who they are. Doing that over and over and over until finally, at the end of the day, it drops to the bottom and it dies. And it never went through the open door. What's your open door? Call your sheep. Quit banging on the wrong people. There are never people who spend money on ponds are probably never going to be yours. And if they are, it'll be 3 lifetimes from now. What good is that going to do you now? Don't you want it in this lifetime? That's really the question, isn't it? So trying harder might not be the fix. You want to change what you do. How many people here do not want to be the doomed fly? Who wants to do something different? Who wants to go find their sheep? You tell me, because I'll show you how, how we do that. And this is why, the program is called 6-Figure Advisor. Can you even read that? There, you see it? There's that a little bit better. 6-Figure Advisor, because you become an advisor and you don't need as many people. The girl whose husband was driving Uber 4 years ago, today they have sessions, and their lowest cost program, they teach people how to be public speakers. And we are teaching people how to be presenters on Zoom online also, which is a marvelous thing that you can do. They also do it online. And now their lowest cost advisor program, from driving an Uber 4 years ago, was what her husband did. And she was a pastor, an assistant pastor, she and her husband, making almost nothing, 30,000, I think, total for the year. And now their lowest price program is $100,000. Their second price program is $250,000. And their highest program is $1 million. And they help people, regular people, who have a specialty or a desire in their heart that they want to help people with a certain type of thing, whatever that is, to go and do presentations and offer what they have. And people, we are watching in the class every day as people who used to drive Uber are suddenly bringing in $10,000 from 5 different people. And they have a 6-month coaching program because those people know how to do certain things. How many of you have had life experiences with skin or hair or children or anything else that you're marketing now? And you could offer that help to somebody else in addition to the products that you've got. This gives you a lot of power to draw those people in, right? That's what makes it all so wonderful and makes the numbers just incredibly different. We have a little system, a little 4-step system. That's the reverse selling system. And then I'm going to end it. Would you like to see what that is? It's going to take about 4 or 5 minutes. Tell me yes or no, and I'll show it to you. So you can see what you could be doing, right? And what the program is that we use ourselves. You want to see it?
Several,
got, Vic?
Several yeses. Yep.
Okay, let me show you how it actually works. First of all, you have to decide. Let me ask you here. How many of you have ever made the decision that you're going to build your business and it's going to be something really significant because you think you can make a difference in the lives of the people that are there waiting for you? How many people have ever decided to go all in on doing that? Has anyone? How many people want to decide? You're going to go all in, learn how to find your sheep, help them, and be the number one person in their life that has made a difference in those people's lives, like we do. That's what we do. Okay, so you first have to make the decision. Make a damn decision. Quit screwing around. Well, I'll do it next week. Sure. And you do that long enough, and in 30 years, you're 75. It's very easy. We humans like to put things off. I'm telling you, when you decide to go all in, I don't know what it is. Goethe said, things happen. The world says, all right, then. And you don't do Facebook. You don't worry about what Elon is doing or not, because you can't do jack about it. You're thinking, where are my sheep? They're waiting for me. What am I doing here? Sitting watching what Elon's going to buy Twitter or not buy Twitter. And you go back to your place and you find those folks and you get your satisfaction by you contributing to somebody else's life. And they're happy to pay you for it. They are. Because the pain that you're going to relieve them of is so great. Many of them you're going to bring into your own business to help do that. Because decide. So how many people, do we have anybody who has the kahuna, who has the nerve to go all in? Let me see a yes.
Margot, she said she made the decision yesterday.
I mean, if you don't, what are you going to do? You're going to be a pansy. A wuss. Well, I can't decide. Somebody might say no. So what else is new? Think about who the sheep are. Call their name. And at least everybody you talk to will be somebody who wants a better life in that area. And they won't all buy, but instead of talking to 1 in 100 who aren't even alive, half of them, because you get dead phone numbers, 8 out of 10 are going to say, yeah, give me that. Because you're all on the same page, whatever it is. That's what you want. Okay. As soon as you decide, we will show you, who do you serve? And if you say everyone, then you don't understand the story of the sheep yet. My sheep hear my name. Jesus said that. And he was the greatest collector of people pretty much on the planet. He's still doing it today. It's like a couple thousand years ago. It's only his sheep who hear his name. So get with the picture. Who are your sheep? If Jesus had to leave out most of the world, you're going to have to leave out most of the world. Just model God. That'll be good. You can't go wrong modeling God, or the best version thereof. So who do you serve? Who are the people that you can actually help with their problem? Then we have an attractor formula, and we're going to show that to you, like I showed you here, a couple of examples. Then where are you going to sow? SOW for the listeners. Where are you going to sow these so that the right people are likely to see it? Like if you eat oatmeal every day, you better read this. Well, where does that go? On pages where they talk about food. Oh, no, not car ads, right? And you can do the same with Facebook groups. You put it in the right groups. And if you talk to the people who own the groups before you start, and they know you're not a raider, but a giver, you won't have any trouble. We don't. Okay, so we're going to learn where to seed, because sometimes you have to drop the seeds first. Like with us, we get a seed and then we think, well, that's pretty good. Some of you don't buy our program right away. Some of you never going to buy it. But some of you have bought it. I've seen her 3 times. Give me that program. And we're good. We're good with that. That's the way we are, right? So we seed the earth. And then what happens? Those seeds take root, some of them. Some of them fall on stony ground, like in Jesus's Bible story. Some of them get picked off by the birds. That would be the in-laws. Well, you can't do one of those things. That's right. So they get picked off by the birds, and that's the end of that. Some of them start, and then they get choked by the thorns, remember? Those are all the things that happen to people in our business. But what happens is some of them, they are good ones, and they stay. And what we do, we have a little, what we call a virtual magnet, which is kind of a self-selection survey that's weighted that they get when they're ready, and they just click on it without you doing anything. They just click on it and they go through it. And guess what? When they say yes, they get to the end and they book an interview with you to say, guess what? I'm interested in this. I know what the price is. I know what the background is. I know what the special mechanism is that you've got. I want to do juice fasting, or I want to go to the Golden Door, or you know, I want to do water fasting, or I want to do extra, whatever it is that you've got, they're sold. And you have a conversation here. We teach you this. What's the conversation template so that you can enroll the right person? Okay. That's what we got. And then guess what? Then you have a new problem. You're going to have a set of new problems. Guess what? Your new problems are going to be. Let me get my images out of the way here. Yeah. Sorry. Okay. So here you're going to get new people. You're going to have a team. You're going to have to think about, what am I going to do with my team? How are you going to help them with the right attitude so they don't spend their time like the doomed fly, banging on the wall, banging on the glass, DMing, Facebooking, calling people that have not even a hope of, they don't even have the problem. And if they do, they don't care. How many overweight people are there that are not doing anything to lose weight? Is that your issue? No. You're looking for the ones who, if you know you got to lose weight or else, you know, or do you want to lose 3 weeks? 3 weeks until it's time for the reunion? How to lose, she lost 3 dress sizes in 4 weeks. Is that possible? 3 dress sizes in 8 weeks for the class reunion. Here's how she did it. P.S. She did not eat rabbit food. If you want to know, if you want to see the crazy thing she did, click here. What are you doing? Calling your sheep, calling the sheep, calling your sheep that you can help. That's all you ever can help are your sheep. And all of you have your very own that are waiting out there. And there's 7 billion people. So don't worry about running out of people. Don't worry about it. So then you're going to have those people. Then guess what? You're going to have friends asking for money because you're going to have some money. There's money coming in. Remember, this is not to your necessarily personal checking account. Some of you hear numbers like $100,000 a year or $100,000 a month or $100,000 in a week. That is money that goes to your business. It's not you with your job. It's your business income. Businesses need a lot of money because they spend money as well. You are going to hire assistants. You're going to need a new computer setup, probably a little bit bigger. You might want to buy some software to help run things like Word document system and Microsoft stuff and Apple stuff. Why? To keep your business going, because you're going to be putting stuff out there and people, your sheep, there are many of them. And depending on how many you want to serve and how big you want to get, that is your business. This is not, you know, money that you can stick under the pillow. So remember to keep your business separate from your things that you do for your job. A business is a separate thing, and you're going to have friends asking for money for sure. You know, that's just because that's the way friends are. Oh, you have some money now. Great. Give me some. And then you also have things with, you might want to buy some crypto, or you know, now's a good time actually. Now the market has crashed, or you might want to do some NFTs. These are things that you have. Do you see how this works? So the next step, there are some of you that have been waiting for this. I know, because we've talked together. If you want a chance to work with us, let me tell you how this works. We have been doing this for, gosh, Vic, I don't know how many, 30 years of doing the business and teaching and training, probably the last 18 or 20. And we have had coaching programs before that we've enjoyed incredibly. And we've decided that it takes a while for a person to become a different person. So let's say that you decide, I want to become a 6-figure advisor. Who here wants to become a 6-figure advisor the way we just talked about? Let me see who wants to become that. You don't all have to. It's whatever you want. You tell me. Who wants that? Let me see. Who wants to become a 6-figure?
Yep. David, I see you. Margot, Ruth.
Right.
Our wonderful Italian friend, Nolene, as well.
Good. Okay. Well, then if you want to become one, go here, 6-figure advisor, put that in there, Vic, if you would.
Oh, it's there. I put it in already.
Okay. All of you that said, yes, you want to be one, it's free to apply. And it's also free to apply for financing if you need it. A lot of people don't need it, but some people do because it's not a cheap date program. Okay. So the form, fill out the form right here. It's just your contact information and why you want to work with us. And then where you are in your business right now. Are you, like Vicki said, are you at ground zero? You want to be at 10,000 a month, say a year from now, which is entirely possible. Just remember, my sheep hear my name. Don't ever forget that line. It applies to every one of you that has anything that you know that you've learned through experience or the school of hard knocks that you can help someone else with who is still stuck before. like many people who do advising work, like what we do and what you do really, is you're helping somebody who was where you were 5 years ago, right? Like all of us have issues in our lives and we can help somebody else with it. Like if you have trouble with kids and they finally grow up, you might be somebody who could say, well, if you're having trouble with your kids right now, I probably can help you. I had a trouble kid and I'm past it now. And so you're helping somebody who was where you were, whether it's weight loss, whether it's income, whether it's hair, skin, whatever. And that's what makes it work, because you've done it for yourself. So that's why find something that whatever you're marketing, doesn't have to be a network marketing product, can be affiliate, it can be your own coaching. Make sure that you've had a change so that you're confident about what you can do for somebody else. So we want to just know where you are in your business and where you want to go and what your obstacles are. Because sometimes if you have obstacles, if you say like, well, I can only spend 20 minutes a day, we probably are not somebody that you should go with, because we probably can't help you. You're not going to become a new person in 20 minutes a day until, well, if you did it without fail and with no distractions, I mean, none, and you had 20 minutes a day and you were completely, totally focused, maybe. But you have to become a different person. It's kind of like if you want to become an Olympic sprinter or an Olympic swimmer, do you really think that saying the words are going to allow you to become an Olympic swimmer? How many people think that saying it is probably going to be okay? You want to become an Olympic swimmer. How many people think, oh yeah, that's pretty easy, I can be an Olympic swimmer? What has to happen? A person says, well, I want to be an Olympic swimmer or an Olympic sprinter, and they go on a training journey to build up the muscles, to build up the discipline, to become that person that can do those things. Are you all with me? So what we just say, yes, I want to be sure that you get this before I tell you the next little bit here. Right? This is going to take some doing. So we've decided to make the program for the same price that we've been offering all along for 1 year instead of 8 weeks. I mean, I think we have found over doing this that a person cannot change enough in 6 or 8 weeks to see themselves as an advisor and to be seen as an advisor where people are just streaming into you, because it takes longer for you to get a new perception of who you are and to become that person. Because if you're somebody who says, well, if 3 people say no, that means I'm no good, that's a conclusion that is erroneous. You are wrongly identifying other people saying no with your identity. That has to change, and that doesn't take like 3 times. You have to realize that they were the wrong 3 people that you talked to. They're people who are size 8 shoes, and you were selling size 3 shoes. So does that mean you're a bad seller? No, you just didn't know they had size 3 feet, and all you have is size 8 shoes. So you have to change your decisions and your conclusions so that you find the ones who are your sheep. And that is a process they don't really teach in schools. And we are going to show you how to do that so that each time you make a better decision, so that you're more likely to find the people who are your sheep coming to you. That's really what we're doing. So it's going to be a whole year that we are going to help you through this process, a year worth of it. And if you are interested in doing that, check with Vic and we'll show you. We have a limited number of people. We're also going to limit the program. We've run about 300 or 400 people through it. And we're going to now do a plan where we will not have more than 96 people going through it in the program. And that's based on what we started, I think, a month and a half ago or so. So we're going to take very small numbers of people that go through the program with us to be sure that we can help the ones that are looking, that want sheep to help. Many of people are just, that's not what they're doing. If you're consulting of any kind, if you have any kind of specialization and you want to help other people, you're looking for your sheep. We want to help you find them, and we know we can. But for you to be confident, you need to start becoming that person that can bring them in and help them, and bringing in and help them. Because, when you start getting 50 new clients, you're going to go, oh my God. And we'll be right there to help you do the thing that you already know how to do. And they don't know how to do. You just didn't know, So it's very exciting for us to be taking a few people on a journey like this. And I wanted to show you. Have some of you got the form? Did you, those of you that are interested in applying here to see if you can get a spot with us?
And Nolene, you mentioned that you just filled out the form. I know we spoke last week, so I'll look for you.
Yeah.
And for those of you that are filling it out now, let me just pop my cell phone number in so that you could be to the top of the list and I can catch you by eye and actually text you back. Here's my cell, 707-304-2090. I'm in Pacific time, so if you want to text and you're in Eastern, I'm way ahead. I'm way earlier than you, so go for it.
Yeah.
Go for it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, it's really, like I said, if it's something, if you are confident that you've got something, anything, where you know how to really do something, and I can tell you that there are people out there waiting for you to show them how to do it. It's something, you know, you just don't realize that people are waiting for you when you've heard no. But you see, once you realize that all the no's, all that it's too expensive, or I don't want to do network marketing, has nothing to do with you. It's just you've been taught the wrong way to market. You cannot go and expect everybody to be your prospect any more than if I sold Range Rovers. Oh, everybody should buy a Range Rover. Really? Hello, a lot of you would never buy a Range Rover or a VW or a Mini Cooper. There are hundreds of brands of cars, hundreds of types of homes, hundreds of different kinds of people, and yours are waiting for you. And if you learn how to do reverse selling, the unique sort of mechanism that we've got, the major money earners of any kind all use that system. It's just in network marketing. It's the old thing is everybody wants this and it's easy. Anyone can do it. This is false. It's designed to get you in so that you'll stay in. But in fact, if you want to earn 6 figures, you will never earn it talking to every single person as if they're your prospect, because they're not. It's not because it's you. It's just they're not. Like, I am really not interested in spending a lot of money learning all about, I don't know, how to find oil. If I did, it would be we all get rich, right? But I don't know anything about oil. I don't really, it's not my cup of tea. It's like golf. I don't really want to learn golf. Even if Tiger Woods came banging on the door, I'd say, man, you're awfully good looking, awfully cute. I know you're good, but I don't really care if I ever learn it or not. You know what I mean? So people are all like that. They're looking for a leader. Do you want to be that leader if you learn how to ask for them? That's the question, okay? How many of you know anything about dice? You want to hear my dice story? I got a lot. This is the end, by the way. Who wants to hear the story about my dice? 2 pair of dice. Are you guys gamblers? Are you traders? Let me see if anybody's into this exciting stuff. Yes or no? You tell me. You got it? All right, dice. Want to hear dice? Okay, I like this story a lot. 2 pair of dice. Where's my slide? Here it is. All right. So let's play. You're playing a game. Every hand, $200, $500, $1,000, $10,000, $100,000, right? And you're playing with your own money. Now, there are 2 pairs of dice. You tell me which one you want. Does everybody understand the setup? We're playing for money or for homes, or pick anything that you want. We'll take money, 300, 500, $1,000, $10,000, okay? And we have, which pair of dice do you want? There's a regular random dice. Okay, we have those. And then we have the loaded dice. See those? Now, these dice, you have a 70% chance of winning every time. With the regular random ones, you don't. You do the regular, you win or you lose. Random or regular. If you use these, you get 70% chance of winning. That's what these loaded dice do. Okay, so here's my question. Now, I know this is going to look kind of stupid. I'm not insulting your intelligence. I'm just asking you this question. Why would you, which dice of these would you rather play with? You want the random dice or the loaded dice? The 70% dice? Which one? Let me see. Of course you want the loaded dice. Yeah. Right? We all got our brains screwed in here. All right. So now let's get to the more intelligent question. Why do you want the loaded dice? Why do you want that? Let me see. Who's got it? And then comes the next question for those with high IQ. Why do you want it? Because of 70%? Philberto, is that what you said?
70%, and you'll win.
Yeah. Okay, good. Now here comes the trick part. Okay. So now we got this. Why did you want this? Because 70% beats completely random. Now, how about this? They're going to sell these dice now for $1,000. $1,000. You can buy them or not. It's up to you. You can decide. Okay, so they're going to sell these for $1,000, and the random dice are free. Are you with me? Tell me yes. You got it? Random dice are free. Now they're going to sell them for $1,000. And you can use them. $1,000. And you can, which dice would you want to play with? Okay, so the random ones are free. Now these are going to be $1,000. Now, which dice would you rather play with? Now, know that you can use them as often as you want and as long as you want, at least 1 year. Margot? Yep, you're my kind of girl. Gilberto, what about you, buddy? And Noel, where are you guys? Which one do you want?
They still want that. They still want
All
this.
right, still want it.
Uh-huh.
70% dice, right? Because why? Versus the random dice. Why? Why? Would you say that you have 70% certainty that you're going to win? Not 100%, but 70%. And what we want to do is offer to be your loaded dice. That's what we'd like to be. We believe we are your loaded dice. If you have something that you know you feel strongly about, that you can help people with, and you know your sheep are out there, I can tell you they are, whether you believe it or not. We know they are, and we'll prove it to you once you start, that you can find those people who've been waiting for you and what you have and your help. Okay, that's really what we have. That's who we are. That's what we can do for you. So if you want that loaded dice on your side, go ahead and fill in that form. And our program is pricey because for you to transform your life, you ask yourself, if you stay the way you are right now with your business, wherever it is it okay with you if you stay that way for the next 5 or 10 years? Yes or no? Who is okay staying exactly the way they are with their business for the next 5 or 10 years? Who says, yes, I'm okay with that? Because then you don't need us. Who's okay with that? Can you picture being 5 years older or 10 years older? And you're just where you are right now. Thinking, are you going to think, crap, why didn't I take that crazy lady up on her offer? Why didn't I take those 2 girls up? Why didn't I take those loaded dice? Because now it's 10 years later and you're just where you are right now. Right? And that's really the big thing. Now, some of you, it used to be that we didn't have payment options. We just said, we help you with financing because we have companies who love our work and they give you money. And some people say, lend you money, right? I don't mean banks. I mean, there's a huge world of people lending money for you to start a business, to help people. It's not to get your product free. We're looking, do you want to become a 6-figure advisor, right? That's what we're looking at. And that means you're going to have a business. Do you understand that? It's not some little dinky thing where you go to the event once a year and you could barely pay for tickets because you haven't made any money. We're talking about making a minimum of 100 grand a year, you helping your people. That's 8,000 or 10,000 a month for starters. Okay, that's what we're doing here. And so sometimes people think, oh, well, Dave Ramsey says don't borrow money because, we're on a fixed income. Dave Ramsey and Suze Orman, they're wonderful people. They're talking to people with jobs, which is 95% of the population. They have jobs. That means a fixed income. If your job is 100 grand, if you make 100 grand a year, it's still a fixed income. If it's 30 grand a year, it's still a fixed income. It's fixed. If you have a business, you can multiply your income. So when Ramsey and Susie Orman say don't borrow money, it's because they know that you have a fixed income. So if you're going to borrow 50 grand to do crypto trading and you lose it, you are going to be in deep magumbo, as they say at Stanford. Aren't you? But with a business, everybody borrows money who builds a business, including Mr. Musk. He wanted to buy Twitter, right? The cost of Twitter, just so you know here, $45 billion. And of course, right now the deal is up in the air because Twitter apparently has hundreds of millions of bots that are not real people. And so we don't know if the deal is going to go through or not, but based on last week's information, the cost was 45 billion. He got a $13 billion bank loan, $12 billion loan against his Tesla stock, and he has 21 billion lined up from other investors that he knows. The cash, he didn't even have the money to buy the damn Twitter. So don't feel like, well, I don't have the money. So what? Nobody else does either. They go to financial institutions that help with that. That John Rockefeller did it. What do you think keeps Christianity going? Every Sunday they have collection plates going around. Clink, 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 clink. Why? To support giving the help and service to people that are out there who need it. That's what it's all about. That's what it's all about. So he didn't have the money either. So it's not difficult to get financing for your business at all. We've shown that, but we now have a monthly option for people that we decided to make available for those of you that, you know, want to have yet a third option and who realize that it might take you a year to become an Olympic quality advisor, because you're going to have to be somebody that you're not now. That means you make different decisions with how you spend your time, different decisions about how you react. When somebody says no, you're going to say, oh, tell me what you do now. Oh, you don't like chocolate? Oh, okay. So what does that mean? She doesn't like chocolate. She doesn't want the whole shape program. She doesn't like chocolate. So instead of saying, oh gosh, this isn't any good, I can't do this, you're going to say, oh, who would like chocolate? I know, chocoholics. If you're a chocoholic and you want to lose weight, you want to have a shape program that is like chocolate heaven, you're obsessed with chocolate, click here. You turn every no into the market, her no, her $6 Pond's cream. You could almost say, if you use Pond's cream, don't read this. Who's going to read it? People who use Pond's cream. What's wrong with Pond's cream? Who knows? You may get some winners like that, right? Do you see what I'm saying? It's all about finding your people, the sheep that are waiting for you. And if you go we're going to teach you how to make better decisions so that you find the ones, and don't give up thinking you were a dum-dum, because you're not. You don't have to stay a caterpillar. They're supposed to become butterflies. But if you hang out with the wrong people, you'll think you're supposed to be a caterpillar. Don't you want to be a butterfly? You tell me. So you don't, this is not like $100,000 program, like my friend's whose lowest program is 100,000. I have a friend whose cheapest program is 24 grand, and she helps bookkeepers. It's 24 for the year. That's her cheapest program. And she helps people who know how to keep books to become independent bookkeepers who never charge $50 an hour. They'll go to somebody and say, I can save you $250,000 on your tax bill, and it's going to cost you 50 grand. Do you know who says yes? Everybody who has a $250,000 business with a $250,000 tax bill is going to hire her for 50 grand for one tax return set for her to do that work, where she would have earned 5 hours times $50 before. How do you go from $250 at $50 an hour as a bookkeeper to 50,000 for one account? You find the accounts, if tax savings is your area, that pay at least 250,000 in taxes, and tell them, you know what, I can cut your bill to, I don't know, 100,000, and you pay me 25 grand to do it. What's more money in her pocket, 25,000 or 5 hours of work doing the same work for $50 an hour? Do you guys see this? Tell me that you get this. This is how big money is made for doing the same work. You don't offer yourself for $50 an hour. No. You do the same work for somebody whose business pays 250 grand, and you say, you know what, if I can reduce that to 100, pay me 25 grand and we got a deal. Do you see that? The same 5 hours of work. This is what you're going to be doing. Same 5 hours of work. We just ask for the sheep that can hear your voice and that are waiting to hear it. Okay. All right. So we're done. How many of you know this poem? I bargained with life for a penny, and life would pay no more. However, I begged at the evening when I counted my scanty store. Life is just an employer. He gives you what you ask. But once you have set the wages, why, you must bear the task. I worked for a menial's hire, only to learn dismayed that any wage I had asked of life, life would have willingly paid. All right. So that's what we have for you. We're here to be your loaded dice, your 70% dice. And if you want to chat with us about how we might be able to do that, we are going to limit our program, like I said, to a certain number of people per year. And when it's full up, we aren't going to take any more until somebody is done and completes and changes and goes in another direction. That's what we've decided to do. So if you want to connect with Vic, any questions? By the way, Vic, do you have anything you want to add to this? Or
I see a couple coming in. So I got you, a couple of people that came in. And I just want to tell you, you did vote for the 70% dice. Everybody did. And I'm just going to tell you, there's just something fun about playing when you know that there's more certainty and that you can actually enjoy the game, really, and you don't have to be a doomed fly, really. And the last thing I can say is the transformation takes time, but what about if you could just exhale and enjoy it? And you didn't have to be all tense, tangled up in your underwear, if you actually enjoy it.
That's why it's a year. You're talking about the extended time that we did, right?
A little bit at a time, or some go faster, some go slower, but you have 12 months to transform, because nobody can transform in a week or a month. We all know Olympic stuff takes a little longer, but you actually can exhale and enjoy this. You don't have to be tense and tangled up in your underwear. And last, because I know it's been going long, we have this gal we put in about maybe 6 weeks ago. And she's been following Kim for years and years and years, and just couldn't invest in herself. And finally came to me and said, okay, I'm going to go all in. And I grilled her on it. Are you kidding? You only have one foot in. Convince me. She finally told me what she was going to eliminate to make this happen, because she hates her job, hates it. And her body's falling apart. She stands on her feet all the time. She's in the medical world. No time off, hardly. And now every day almost I get this message, oh, Vic, I love my life. It's like I'm the new person in me that's always been in there, but I stuffed way down inside is back. I'm happy. So she feels like this is therapy, but it's putting her together again, and she's getting it. This isn't scary. She goes, and I don't have to duplicate myself. I get to not clone myself. I get to be me and offer value to people in this specific little thing that she wants to do. She's writing a book now, wants to do a podcast. She's shy. She's doing stuff she never expected to do. And it's 6 weeks in. It's just, that's what's going to happen. You've got the 70% dice.
Right.
Thanks, Kim. And none of us need to be doomed flies anymore.
Right. Exactly. And, people that you sign up, there's a question here about the price of the program. I can tell you, it depends on what you're going to need. Why don't you connect with Vic? This is to Filberto. Are you in Italy by any chance?
Yeah.
I'm not sure, but I've just.
Yeah, he had said that he's from Italy when he came in.
Right. Are you one of the guys who decided to do something with the crypto program, the automatic trading bot program?
Yes.
Yeah, really. It's so good. We were just talking to people about it today. So why don't you connect with Vicky right now? Tell me what you market. Who do you help, Filberto? Who do you help? Who you help people who what? What do you do? Oh, so you help them set that up, or you help them find it or finance it, or what? What do you do? Okay. Well, would you be advertising in Italy, or, are you looking for people over there, or also looking, when I say advertising, I mean posting stuff, writing emails, doing that stuff. Would you be doing that in the United States or where? I guess it doesn't really matter where it is, right? Yeah, I'm not 100% clear what you produce. If you have a mining service, or if you have people who do it, or if you want to become a miner, or if you help miners already. So fill out the form, connect with Vic, and if we think we can help you, what I can tell you is here's the criterion for can we help you or not. Is there a problem of some kind, or there are people who have it and need help with it, and you have something that can help those people solve that problem? That's what we need. Yeah. Yeah, Nolene, do you have a link for it already? I mean, I sent out a notice about it for people that are into crypto. This is not for the faint of heart. Yeah. Yeah, connect with Vic. So do you have something that somebody needs? Because all I know about mining is that people who do crypto mining, there are a lot of people who are into that and want to learn how to do it. So I don't know if you're offering ways for people to help become miners, or if they become a miner, how to sell their stuff or how to get lower gas fees. I don't really know what you do. But the question is there something that you have learned that you know how to do and that you love and obsess over and want to get better at and better at? Like, we obsess over helping folks who should be making 100 grand a year or a week, who aren't, because they don't know these things that I just showed you. And we think we just changed the program to 12 months. We never stop thinking about how we can make it better to help people succeed who effing deserve it. But if you have 3 people and they say no and you quit, you don't know enough to succeed ever, because that's never the answer. It's, well, okay, so what do you do for your skin? Oh, nothing. Oh, so I need people who really are obsessed about their skin. That's how you think. And we will help you think that so that you find your sheep. So that's the key. Okay. So do the thing. And the gal who was saying, yeah, the plan, they're closing it tonight. I have known Dan for, oh my God, 20 years. As a matter of fact, he's a big lover of the Orange Book. And he's in parts of the Orange Book. You'll still see him there because he promoted it really, really big. We've worked together, years ago. And so now he's developed this. So it's not for people that are, if you don't have any crypto and you never had it before, just don't do anything with that, because it's time taker. But if you know about that kind of stuff, I play with it a little bit and I've learned how to do it. But I've also been doing my work for 30 years. So if you have your most direct path to your financial success is investing in yourself, your skills, your ability to help somebody, and then we will help you find your sheep who are waiting for you. They're all there. You just don't know it. And if you don't believe it, it's just because you're not the person you need to be who does believe it. How many people do you think wanted to follow Elon Musk to Mars? Are you nuts? When he started talking about that years ago, they all said he's crazy. NASA wouldn't give him the space in Florida to do his rockets. He had to go to the Mariana Islands. Nobody supported him. He found somebody who said, yeah, I'm interested in Mars. I want to send some little moss to Mars and grow it there and send it back so we can say we have Martian Mars and sell it. Martian moss. Can you believe it? Now he's got rockets that NASA is using. SpaceX. So if you think you got something and you want to get huge income helping people, go and apply. And if we can take you, if we can help you, we will. And if not, we'll tell you we can't help you. No matter, the money doesn't matter. You have to really want this, and we will promise you your people are there. You just don't know it. But when you find them, you're going to go, oh my God. And that's when you know that sweet spot of life, you've got it. You've got your calling, and now you're going to be the best one at it. That's what we want to be. At what we do, there's nobody better in the industry. I know it. If there were anybody, we'd hire them tomorrow. For the way we do it, nobody does reverse selling. They all we're hit on everybody. Right? All right. Any questions? Any takeaways from this? Last takeaways I want to see in the chat. Remember, we are limiting the number of people. There will not be more than 96 new people coming in here in the next 90 days. That's it. All right, you have the form. Any takeaways from anybody that you've got? You want to give me some takeaways? Give me a takeaway. Margot, what's a takeaway? What have you got? Yes, we do crypto bots. I mean, I do. Vic also, by the way, don't think she's some Lulu. She bought, I won't tell on you, Vic. She bought Ethereum when it was like $300.
Yeah.
And now people are screaming, oh, Ethereum is like, what is it? 2,000 still? I think it's around $2,000.
About two.
And yeah, right. So she doesn't care.
No, I don't.
But people who bought it at 2,000 are going, oh my God, or people who bought it at 3,000, right? When it was higher. So it's just a question of when you do what, and she took a move when she needed to make it. And you have to be able to take your lumps. If you can't take a lump, it means you shouldn't have spent the money or the time or invested your emotion. Because people say no. We just expect a few of you to say yes. And of those of you that come, we'll probably just take maybe one or two. But we want to have people that are fun to work with and that really want to make a difference right now and go all in right now. Because that's who we are. That's why we want that from you. So if that's you, you know what to do. All right, see if we have anything else. I think we're good. You guys good? All right. Okay, Vic.
David, you asked for my Facebook. You can message me right there, as well as fill out the form. I'll be around. Or anybody else.
Well, you can also text Vicky.
Yeah, and I gave you the text, but I'll give it to you again just so you guys see it. Right in front of your eyes, right there. Okay.
Yeah, and are you still awake over there in Italy?
He said he's got to sleep. It's like 3 or 4 in the morning or something.
Oh my gosh. Okay, we'll connect tomorrow.
You bet.
Because it'd be fun to be able to help somebody in your business. I'm very interested in that business. I just need to know what you've got, or you can tell Vicky what service you provide that and who needs it, and then we can position you so that is exactly who comes to you.
Mhm.
It's very exciting. Oh my gosh. All right. Any other questions? Any other things? Are we done? We'll call it a day.
Call it a day. I got you guys. There's 4 or 5 of you. So
Good.
we'll be connected. All right. Thanks, Kim. Always good.
Pleasure.
Always.
Pleasure.
Always. Bye.
Bye-bye.